How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Blade Runner Black Lotus. This is the animated series from Adult Swim and Crunchyroll, and this is Season 1, Episode 9, and this episode's entitled Free Will. This is from January 8th, 2022, and I guess I should mention on those dates, I always say the date from my perspective and where I live, but the thing with this show is it actually airs around midnight, and for some people, based on their time zone, it comes out a little before midnight, and for other people, it comes out a little bit after midnight. So, I say January 8th, but a lot of other people list this as 9th. Just in case you guys were wondering, I say it from my perspective. But anyway, moving right along, this is once again directed by series creators Kenji Kamiyama and Shinji Aramaki. And once again, we start Jessica Henwick as Elle. Now, this is a pretty big episode. This is a big enough episode where if you told me that this was a finale, I would have believed that this was a season finale. You know, it really does have that kind of feel. We had a really cool action-heavy episode with episode 6, and I feel like when they talk about the show's best action episodes, episode 6 and episode 9 probably will get talked about quite a bit. Lots of really cool stuff going on here. Ellie is going after her final target, Nyander Wallace Sr., and he's got himself all locked up in the top of a big Blade Runner style tower, and Ellie has to fight her way all the way up to the top. And a lot of crazy action stuff happens here. You know, I find with action in this show, you get the characters that know how to fight. There's like 4 of them. Obviously, Ellie and the Blade Runner at the top, but of course Joseph knows how to fight. We just haven't seen much of that, and Officer Davis, who was in training to be a Blade Runner, she knows how to fight, and it seems like whenever you get these 4 characters involved in a fight, you pretty much know that they're gonna win unless they're going after one another. So here you have Ellie versus a bunch of guards, and you kind of know these guards are gonna be toast, but because there are so many of them, and she is working her way up an entire freaking tower, this is a lot closer than we've seen it before, you know, so Ellie's still very much a killing machine, but this episode, because there is so much to do, it cuts it a lot closer than it has been previously, so I really do like that, you know? And a lot happens, like, all that happens in this episode, I thought it would take like 2 or 3 episodes to do, but no, this show's moving along at a pretty steady clip, and by the time I got to the end, I was like, wait a minute, we still do have 4 episodes to go, right? Like I said, it really did feel like this could have been a season finale, but we still have 4 more episodes, which I kind of wonder where they're gonna go with those last 4, you know? Obviously, a lot of Ellie rooting around in her memory and trying to figure out that day by the pool when she got the tattoo, but yeah, what are they gonna spend 4 episodes on? I know that sometimes in anime, right before a climax, they'll have kind of a goof-off episode, which it would be really funny if Blade Runner did that, but they probably won't. It'll probably be Ellie searching her memories or something. I don't know, but I am kind of curious where the last 4 are gonna go, because this show moves along pretty fast, and I'm like, you got time left, what are you gonna do with all this time? So that will be interesting, and I won't spoil the end, but in regards to Ellie's past, there is a moment with a locked door that does lead to a pretty interesting revelation, something I had kind of suspected before, but we'll find out a little bit more about Ellie, and it does promise some intriguing backstory, you know? Like, I have a general guess as to what the backstory's about, but I doubt I'll get all the specifics because it'll probably be some weird, crazy thing in regards to her memory, so I am really curious where this is going. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk a bit about the plot. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what the episode's about. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We open up with the Nyander Wallaces, Senior and Junior. And Nyander Wallace Sr. is very angry, saying he never should have gotten involved with replicants, in that it always goes terribly. Now, there is one thing that was revealed in episode 7 that I really did like, and that was the idea that the doll hunt wasn't just a bunch of people killing for sport. It wasn't just the most dangerous game. Nyander Wallace Sr. actually organized the doll hunt because he wanted to prove that the new replicants were docile. Like, it was an experiment. Can I go and put them through the most extreme, danger that I think I can put them in? Can I get them to cross the line when they're programmed not to? And so I did like that the doll hunt actually had a more logical purpose than just maniacal bad guys killing some replicants, So he sees the doll hunt as a failure, everyone involved with it is dead, and Nyander Wallace Sr. is quite upset. But then we get Nyander Wallace Jr. coming in, and he says, "Why don't you see, Father, the humans are the replicants are the next biological step. Replicants are destined to be the new dominant species of the planet." So he is A-okay with all this going on. We kind of see Nyander Wallace Jr. getting a little bit weirder, and definitely taking a step towards that Jared Leto movie counterpart he's destined to be. So it's an interesting conversation. We also do get a scene a little bit with the new Blade Runner character, and he's in his car. His spinner's actually pretty cool, kind of classic style on the front there. But he's in his spinner, he's lighting up a big cigar, and he's getting ready to go, so he's going to be in the episode later. And I think I said this before, but I really do like the new Blade Runner character, because so many times Blade Runner stories are told from the perspective of a Blade Runner, not a replicant. So I really do like that with this new Blade Runner character, we get to see the Blade Runner told as a villain, and he really does feel like a Terminator or something. You really see just how big and scary a Blade Runner can be, so I really do like this perspective, and I thought that was pretty fun. But anyway, moving along to what Ellie's doing, Ellie shows up at Joseph's garage, and Joseph's actually working on this spinner bike. It's like a motorcycle made out of just one of the front wheels of a spinner, which I don't think we've actually seen before. I mean, it makes sense, they totally would have these. But yeah, a spinner motorcycle, that is new. Anyway, he's working on this, and Ellie comes up and confronts him, and of course they talk about how he used to be a Blade Runner. And Joseph says, "Hey, look, if I had wanted to kill you, you would have been dead a long time ago." And Joseph says, "I'm clearly not that man that I was in the past. That was a long time ago. I've moved on. I'm not a Blade Runner anymore, and I'm trying to be different." And surprisingly, Ellie forgives him, which, I mean, I guess this is the mature thing to do, to say, look, you're clearly trying to be a better person. You're not who you were in the past. And, I mean, great level of maturity for Ellie to forgive him. At the same time, though, I'm kind of surprised, because he did kill about 200 replicants. That's a pretty significant thing, but they've managed to patch this up in only one scene, so, I mean, good for them. Is just, I expected this to be a much bigger ordeal. But anyway, they patch things up, and Joseph calls someone on the phone. Now, we don't ever see who he's calling, but Joseph says, "Just this one thing, and it'll all be over, and that's it. She'll be at peace." Now, we don't know who he's talking to. An obvious choice, like, if this was someone like Doc Badger, then you're just catching this guy up and it's no big deal, right? But I have a suspicion, and this is just a theory, I think he was probably talking to Officer Davis. I think when Ellie was doing her own thing, Joseph and Davis may have teamed up. She's kind of off the force right now, and he's like, "Look, I know this has been a big thing. just let us do this and the city streets will be at peace and the whole story will be over. I think he was probably talking to Davis, but we don't know. Just a theory. But anyway, Ellie and Joseph talk things out, and they agree to team up on this last mission. And one thing I do like is Joseph has a bit more active of a role this time around. I mean, previously in the series, Joseph opened up that videotape for her, and he's also been giving her a place to stay, so he's been doing stuff, but he hasn't been super active in Ellie's missions, you know? So I do like that this time around, Joseph is going to help out a little more during the actual revenge. So that was pretty cool. But Ellie has got a lot to do. She sneaks into the facility in the back of a self-driving box truck, which she got into the back of a self-driving box truck, the shoe truck, in the first episode. You think that these would have like a better lock on them. I mean, maybe replicant strength, you can just break the lock. I don't know, but apparently you can just get right into the back of these things. Anyway, Ellie gets in, but the whole security team knows that something is going to be up. So the moment something goes just slightly wrong, all the guards are on duty, and Ellie has to fight her way up through the tower with a lot of guards. And like I said, this is much more action, it's much closer, and overall, it's a pretty cool action episode where the action scenes go on quite a bit, so a lot to like here. And of course, the other Blade Runner is going to show up, and these are always the coolest action scenes, you know, pairing Ellie with someone who's actually as big a threat as she is, and just letting them tear up the place. Now, I won't spoil where the fight takes place, but at the same time, it's in this cool location, and they wind up destroying a lot, and in the back of my head I'm like, oh no, don't destroy that. There's a lot of things in this location that are actually super valuable in the Blade Runner universe, and I'm like, maybe try not to smash that, but whatever. But anyway, cool fight scenes, really builds up to a lot, and a whole lot goes on here, and yeah, I really do like this episode. A ton of fun stuff going on, and I won't spoil how it ends, but we do move fast, and we do have a pretty cool revelation around this locked door at the end. It's a lot to look forward to, but at the same time does cover a lot of ground. So yeah, we get a big cool action episode, lots of things happen. Could have been a season finale, but we still got 4 more episodes to go. And I'm kind of wondering, you know, is this going to get a season 2, you know? It seems like Ellie is going to wrap up her story, so I don't know. Like, I would be interested to see more with these characters. You know, I've been following them around for a whole season, but at the same time I kind of think, what if the Blade Runner cartoon show wasn't always Black Lotus? Like, what if the Blade Runner cartoon show was anthology, and we got a different story every season? That would be interesting too, especially because Ellie seems to be burning through her story at a pretty alarming rate. So I am kind of curious, you know, if this will be season 2, if it's going to be an anthology show, or maybe this is just a one-off, one-season type deal. I would definitely like to see more Blade Runner animation, especially if they could go 2D with it. But whatever, we'll just have to see what happens when it happens. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. If you guys want to see more, you can click there and see more. This should be my Blade Runner playlist, so if you want to see my reviews for the past episodes, as well as some of the comics, the first movie, and Soldier with Kurt Russell, I've got quite a bit in my Blade Runner playlist. So anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Blade Runner playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.